Hi, I'm Joshua Hayward, and thanks for joining me for Life Readings this week in the Stars and Cards. And let me extend an invitation to you to join me each week as I explore all the possibilities and the challenges and the opportunities for inward growth and outward effectiveness. And this is brought to you by Breath of Life School in Yellow Springs, Ohio, and many blessings. Enjoy. Are you sensing, or are you actually seeing maybe some things wrapping up, maybe some things kind of concluding? And at the same time, are you beginning to see how some new things might be getting ready to unfold in a new way for you? And so if that makes sense to you, that you may be kind of in sync with what this week has for you, with the theme of endings and beginnings this week. And this is the week that begins on Sunday the 19th of September. And I won't be able to actually get this out until Monday. I'm actually recording it on the 19th. It's just the way things fell for me this week. But the action kind of starts on Monday, as we'll see anyway here. So, yes, this week is the week where on the 22nd, and then even a little bit of the 23rd, we're looking at the autumnal equinox, or the fall equinox. And it's really actually on the 22nd, and not the 21st. A lot of people think it always happens on the 21st, and that's not always true. Most of the time it is. And by that, at that particular point in time, the sun's been in Virgo, and it's shifting over into 0 degrees of Libra. And when we get a quarter turn with the seasons, with the equinoxes and the solstices, the sun always falls into a cardinal or active sign. And this is the sign of Libra. Okay, and so we see this is kind of the beginning of the fall season that's coming up with the equinox. Okay, so, but right before that, with the sun in Virgo, very interestingly, right towards the end of that, and this is going to be on Monday the 20th, and I think it's about 7:45 or so, we have full moon at 28 degrees in Pisces. And that moon has crossed over Neptune right before it gets there. So there's a moon conjunct Neptune in the sign of Pisces, a full moon. And that's a fairly significant type of configuration with Neptune. It's ruled by the sign of Pisces, so it's kind of Neptune, Moon, and Pisces, they're right in sync, and it takes you into a deep connection with spirit. Logic and reason are kind of gone, so that orderly thinking, is starting to wind down, and it's going to be time as the equinox develops, we move into connection and relationship and to put things into motion a little bit. So as we wind down the summer with this full moon in Pisces, there's a couple of approaches, and that could be to, there's a pull towards alcohol, drugs, things like that, or some sort of ecstatic kind of ritual or what have you, to just music with you. That really listening to music is fantastic. We just had Porch Fest here in Yellow Springs just yesterday, Saturday, I believe, the 18th. Yeah, lots of great music. I believe we'll be doing that next year too. That could be interesting to see what happens next year. But I digress. back to the subject of music and Neptune, to really be ecstatic with your connection with spirit. The other approach would be to be more meditative and to see what comes up and see what's been coming up for a while in terms of limited thinking and blockages in life. And just kind of getting done with that, really accepting where you're at, and just have a willingness to let spirit, Christ consciousness from your heart, kick in and begin to move you to the connections that we're really looking forward to in the fall here. So there's a couple of different approaches that are pretty good for you right there, and to look at this week. And so let's go right on into the tarot and move up with what the cards might reflect about this week, to match in and align with what we just said about the astrology. It is this week in the stars and cards, okay? So we're reaching, and the first card, this is very exciting, it's the Magus, or the Magician. And it's a mercurial or a Mercury ruled card, so it's about connecting, a lot of communication. It also just says there's a lot of magical possibilities that we're at with this week. You know, we can transcend with that Moon Neptune conjunction. We can transcend logic and let the magic of life really kick in if we let go of analysis and control and move from our left brain to a more right brain type of experience. The magic is there, okay? And this can be in forms of communication. Writing is really part of this. In fact, back in the Middle Ages, in the Dark Ages, writing was considered to be a magical practice. It still is, but I mean not even writing about weird spiritual things, just writing your name. That's actually magical. So when you think about that. Anyway, just a fun factoid here. And the next card that goes with that, beautiful. We're looking with that magic starting to emanate into creativity and into love with the Princess of Love, Princess of Cups. She's a manifester of beauty and art and also of love. So you're looking at a love connection possibly as well. She's really one of the more beautiful cards. She's connected with not only her mother, the Queen, but with the Empress. And even she looks to the Priestess card on a very, behind the veil, you know, on that very spiritual level. So there's that divine energy of creativity and love pouring through her. Let's look at the next card. And that is going to be, this is even, wow, this is nice the way this is lining up, because you know, you got that magical thing and the creation and art and all that. Well, here's the love connection too. Another Cups card, the Holy Grail of the Cups, the Ace of Cups. And so that's a new beginning. Letting that, and aces really remind me of that connection we have. The Fool card really has so much to do with aces and beginnings and potential and stuff like that. But it reminds me of the potential that we have with our connection to the quantum field of all possibilities, which is Christ consciousness in the heart. Okay, so letting the new, movement towards love and towards creativity happen. Of course, it's looking like relationship can initiate, or healing. Magical healing of relationship is also possible this week, moving those things into alignment. Next card. Okay. This is the Hangman, or I call it the Hanged Person. And notice the inversion and there's perspective being changed. The ego is being sacrificed for what the spirit really wants. There are many interpretations of this card, but there's a water connection with this card that goes with the Cups cards here too. So maybe the waiting has been happening, and beginnings, endings, okay? So maybe you've been hanging, changing perspective. exercising, hopefully, patience. And that's beginning to move into something new. The next card would be, okay, well, I keep thinking about the heart and Christ consciousness. Here we have the Six of Swords, which is, the Six of Wands, that fire energy of the heart. Because it's Leo and it's sixes, and Jupiter's that really inspirational thing, so it's got to do with sort of a philosophical connection with keeping your heart open to life. And you open up to the energies that are present, and victorious energy is there for you, okay? So yeah, that's those beginnings, all right? Been doing spiritual work, it's been paying off, okay? And the last card, another high energy card with fire, and that's the Knight of Wands. And so the Knight is that individualized male or masculine energy that moves out to manifest new things. So there's this new energy, there's a coming to life. Sometimes it's so hot in the summer, depending on where you are, you get a little bit lethargic, the weather cools down. That's just on a physical level. But when you let go of a lot of stuff and if you're willing to do some more release work on Monday, and that should be a cyclic thing for us to do to release negative energy. We've got this go-getter type of card here. And no matter what your gender identity is, it doesn't matter. This card is let's go manifest and do some things with a lot of excellence and a lot of energy. So that's what this week's about. Remember that next month coming up for stationing planets, a heck of a lot of stuff going on. So, but next week should be really important too. So be sure to tune into life readings this week in the stars and cards next week. And until then, let me remind you to seek the divine in all things.